I do feel trapped now that my family knows. I feel like even if I want to escape.
Okay, well, good morning, everyone. Good morning. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for attending the National Credible Messenger Meet and Greet. This is the second session we are having this year. It was actually implemented this year. So I thank you all for joining us.
Just one thing, Tiff, I'm not, AT is the co-host. I'm not a co-host.
Oh, okay.
So AT, that's why I couldn't see the invite, so you'll be letting them in.
So my name is Tiffany Branch. I am the program coordinator for the Credible Messenger Justice Center at the New York City Department of Probation. So thank you all for joining us today. So I'm just going to discuss with everybody. I want to welcome you all. This is the second quarterly National Credible Messenger Meet and Greet. This platform was created by me as a safe space and welcoming space for credible messengers across the world. As you know, this movement has become national, more so national, international. So it's a space for credible messenger mentors and others to come together from across the country to meet, greet, discuss crucial topics, and network. First, let me inform you for the next 3 hours of what we're going to be doing. We're going to first have introductions. Everyone will introduce themselves, their organization, their title, and we want to just keep that brief so we can move smoothly throughout the next 3 hours. Next, we're going to hear from our wonderful brothers who are co-facilitating this event. That is Abdul Malik and A.T. Andre Mitchell. Then we will go into breakout groups to take a deeper dive into the overall discussion that we're initially going to have. The discussion we're going to have today is going to be surrounded around this uptick in gun violence. Then we'll come back together after the breakout rooms to just discuss what it is we shared. I don't know what these brothers have planned for you. I kind of sort of know, but I would love to see, once we come back together, what you all come up with and some of the things that was discussed. We will then have time for questions and answers or Q&A, some networking, sharing of information if time permits, which means if your organization has any events coming up, webinars, trainings that are free for all across the country or in your state or jurisdiction, we would want to hear about it. And then at the end, we're going to close out and there will be a survey that you can complete after we end. So again, thank you all for joining us. I see you. Hey, buddy. I see you, Starsky. I'm going to pass it over to my brother. He's a credible messenger, wonderful, great, incredible messenger, facilitator. He's the senior community associate at the New York City Department of Probation, Abdul Malik.
Good morning. Thank you, Tiffany, for that wonderful introduction. I like to always start off with saying I did not pay her for that introduction, so that was a joke. So trying to be light with it. Thank you. Like Tiffany said, my name is Abdul Malik. For those who don't know me, I am the resident credible messenger at the Bronx Neon. I like to say that the house of the credible messengers, because about 6 to 7 years ago, when we rolled out this initiative about having more community engagement through the Department of Probation, this space in the Bronx, the physical space in the Bronx, was just that space for us to kind of really cultivate and develop ideas and experiences to kind of get back to the community and give a community a real place to feel like they have a stake holding in what happens as we address the trauma of gun violence in our community. I'm going to keep it brief as far as kind of talking about certain things until we kind of get into the presentation. So at this time, I want to just really big up my brother, A.T. Mitchell, who is also a trailblazer, doing groundbreaking work in ending with gun violence in his community, and just being an all-out voice around the whole cure violence model. And with that, turn it over to my brother.
Yo, salute. Thank you, Brother Abdul. Thank you, Sister Tiffany. Thank you for everybody that I see that's joining in this amazing meet and greet, for the opportunity to be amongst everybody. As been mentioned, my name is Brother AT. That's what most people know me as. I'm the general pretty much of this work in not just New York City, but across country, respectfully and internationally. I've been asked by so many people, right, to help grow this movement. As we are talking right now, I'm currently in Columbus, Georgia, which is about 2 hours outside of Atlanta. And we're starting a whole new group out here as well, a whole new group of boots on the grounds, credible messengers that are signing up to get out into their community and to do the work that all of us do, in so many different facets. I have been blessed to have seen this work mushroom into what is now the largest replication site of the Cure Violence Global Model in the world. Literally, we have more credible messenger sites, more credible messengers here in New York City than in any other place in the world. And I'm excited to have been at the catalyst of it alongside so many other great founders and other great co-architects and co-leaders of this movement. So thank you to everybody. And I'm excited about today because our movement, as it continues to grow, we need to make sure that we're staying on point. We need to make sure that we are staying educated. We're staying up to date with the nuances. Our work is constantly evolving. And we want to make sure that we are effective out there in the field. And we also want to make sure that we're effective in our back office, because it's just not about our front office. It's also about the people who we work with in our agencies that work the back office. We want them to fully understand who we are and what we do, and let them know that we appreciate them as well for their contribution to helping us grow our movement. So with that being said, I'm excited about the breakout. I'm excited about the general conversation. And again, thank you, Tiffany. You are amazing in terms of knowing how to coordinate and coalesce us as a movement. And I really appreciate working alongside my brother Abdul. Every single time I get to work alongside him, it's always a pleasure. So I'm looking forward to it. I think I'm throwing it back to Ad.
So we're going to jump right into this conversation.
Well, we're going to do introductions first.
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead. The introduction.
Yeah, no problem. We want to know who's on the call. We want everybody to rep their city, rep their town, rep their organizations. Just represent who you are. And I'm going to start. And if I miss anybody, just jump in. Please give your name, your organization, and your title. I'm going to start with Ronald Rivera.
Hello, good morning, everyone. I am Ronald Rivera from Health People's Archers Program. I'm in the Bronx. I just started. I've been on board 2 weeks. So I'm going to soak up all the information I can get.
Welcome on board.
Welcome, Ronald.
Thank you.
You took over for my brother Socrates, who I dearly miss. Thank you so much. Next, I'm going to start with Miss Wigfall. And feel free to rename yourself so that I don't,
Oh, yep, absolutely.
Yeah.
Hi, Lakia Wigfall, credible messenger from Massachusetts, located at Boston Pre-Release.
That's what's up. How you doing?
Nice meeting you guys.
Likewise, nice meeting you.
We met earlier last week, so welcome back.
Yes, thank you.
Yes, so now I'm going to pass it over to Gerald Twin Boogie Caldwell.
Hello, y'all hear me?
Yes, sir.
Joe Call King Foundation.
You have background noise, brother.
You hear me?
Yes, we hear you.
Yes, now we hear you.
Hey, how you doing? How everybody doing today?
Doing good, brother. Good to hear from you, man. You got a lot of noise in your background, but it's good to see you, though.
Okay, thank you. So I'm going to pass it on to Miranda.
Hi, my name is Miranda Selmst. I'm in Brooklyn and I am an intern, MSW student at University of Buffalo. I'm an intern at Children's Village working with Carell Johnson and various Credible Messenger programs in the Bronx and in Dobbs Ferry. So just here to really learn and listen.
Thank you. Thank you. Carl's my friend. He's a great guy. Thank you so much for joining. Next is Ashley Tatera.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Ashley Tatera, and I'm coming to you from Boston pre-release. I am part of the Credible Messengers program here and the School of Reentry, and I am the mental health clinician for both programs, and it's great to be here. Thank you.
Excellent. Thank you, Ashley. Hi, Miss Demesha Wilson. Long time.
Good morning. I'm Demesha Wilson. I am the probation administrator for Lucas County Juvenile Court in Toledo, Ohio. And this is my first meeting. I'm excited to learn and hopefully be able to build up Credible Messenger here in Toledo.
Thank you for joining us. Hey, Rod, how are you?
I am Rod Mitchell. I am not from Brooklyn. I'm from the world champ, Milwaukee Bucks and such. You know what I mean? I've seen a couple fans out there. I had to give it to y'all one time. Nah, but I am a supervisor of youth aftercare program in Milwaukee, as well as supervisor of Cream City Credible Message here in Milwaukee County, and happy to be here.
Thank you for joining us. Stephanie Foxworth. Correct me if I say your name wrong, people. I can't really see it.
Hello.
Hi.
How you doing? My name is Stephanie Foxworth. I'm an outreach worker, Credible Messenger at King of Kings Foundation. And I've been on board about 3 weeks. So I'm looking forward to learn more. And
excellent. Thank you.
So far, so good.
Thank you.
Thank brothers, we said what's up. Let the Furtado brothers know we said what's up. Peace and love.
Oh, yeah, out there in Queens.
Yeah.
Queens.
Yes, thank you, Stephanie.
Oh, geez, another one of the, I got to just interject. The Furtado brothers, along with AT, some of the OGs in the game. So we got to really salute the brothers who really put the work, put their business to working in our communities up front and making it do what it do. So when I heard the Furtado brothers, I just had to shout that out. And thank you. And just because I hadn't spoken to all of the other folks who introduced themselves, welcome. I apologize for my rudeness for not shouting out my folks that are here already. So just wanted to say that too.
Thank you, Abdul. Next, I'm gonna ask Mr. Bobby Garcia Jr. Introduce yourself. You're on mute.
Brother Bobby's not shy. Where you at, Brother Bobby?
Hey, how y'all doing? How everybody doing? I'm here, y'all.
Peace,
I'm a Valence interrupter, credible messenger, front line in the hood. Just love what we do. I've been down for about 2 years now. AT, King of Kings Foundation, and just moving forward to get to the young brothers in our neighborhood so they can focus better.
Yes, definitely.
Thank you for that. Julius. Hey, Julius, long time.
Where Jewel at? Brother Julius, come through.
All right, I'm here. Good morning, everybody. Peace to everybody. Good to see the faces in the right places, man. I'm Julius Walker. I run the Arches program out here in Staten Island, also a Credible Messenger, and been with the program at its inception. Used to run the Rock Safe Streets out in Far Rockaway. I applaud the work, man. I support the work, and all y'all got to do is call me. AT, you know where I'm at.
See where I'm at, right?
Where I'm at. All right.
Of course.
Much love to everybody.
Yo, Joe, you see where I'm at, right?
Yeah. You ain't lying.
Hello. Is there a way to put this on speaker view so we can see who's talking when they come up?
It's on your screen. You would have to do that from your screen. Actually, we can't put everybody on it. It's called view. Most of the time, it's in your right top corner of your screen.
That's not available while there's a shared screen. It has to come off a shared screen first.
Got it.
To view the gallery.
Got it. Thank you.
Well, if you look above where it's at, you see 4 little boxes. It's 1 box, 1 bigger box, 2 lines, and then like a grid view. If you press that first box, second box, it'll go into speaker mode.
Yeah, I don't have those dots, but okay, don't worry about it. It's fine.
All right, well, we'll come off share screen. I can always put it back up. We'll
Yeah.
come off after the introductions. I'll put it back up. Thank you so much.
There we
Okay,
go.
so let's get through this. Brianna.
Hello, hi, good morning. My name is Brianna Ajay. I'm a peer mentor. I work with ICM Plus and mentoring.
Okay, thank you.
In Brooklyn, New York. Thank you.
Go ITM. Joe Powell, how are you today?
It's Raul. How you doing? It's Raul, but I'm doing well.
Raul.
Yes, Raul. Massachusetts Credible Messenger. I met with you and Brother Abdul a couple days ago. I'm very excited about hearing more about today, and thank you for having us.
Absolutely. And yes, if I say your name wrong again, please correct me. Shaniqua Coco Purvis.
Coco, Sister Coco.
Hello, everyone. How you doing? My name is Shaniqua. They call me Coco. Last name Purvis. I'm the CEO for a new organization called Both Sides of the Violence. Fortunate to be in Brooklyn, from Bed-Stuy, and come under the likes and mentorship of Brother A.T. Mitchell and others. I'm out here doing this work since 2014 after my sister was murdered in 2002. And I'm also working with her murderer right now to stop this gun violence completely in our areas. Thank you.
Good to see you,
Thank
sis.
you.
Good to see you.
Carlos Gonzalez.
Be symptoms to all, my brother Abdul. How you doing?
Going on? Good morning.
My name is Carlos Gonzalez. I'm the PC with the Archers Group Health People in the South Bronx, and I've been a credible messenger for many years. This is my first time at this meeting. Peace and blessings to all.
Peace, brother. Thank you for being there, Brother Carlos.
Thank you. Stephen Humble.
Yes, Stephen Humble Mangual, Justice Advocate Coordinator with Latino Justice Pearl Deaf down here in the Southeast office now. Born and raised in the Bronx, New York, formerly known as co-host of On the Count, the Prison and Criminal Justice Report. I'm a student of Eddie Ellis in the Conciencia Study Group.
Oh, yes, sir.
Eddie Ellis,
And
yes.
I could tell you honestly, man, and people will vouch for me, I've been a credible messenger since 1997.
Yes, sir.
Before we was even using the term, because I was a student of the non-traditional approach. I am a student of the non-traditional approach.
Likewise.
Currently working on, I've been working with the Credible Messenger South. I'm down here with Coach Ruben and Mikey, and we have some credible messengers in Florida. They doing the work. We're doing the work.
Yes,
We're just doing it. We're just doing it without any funding, any accolades, anything. We just our bros are out here on the street doing their thing, and I'm lending support from my currently being part of this national organization. I'm lending support and I'm doing the trainings with them. So I'm looking forward to y'all helping us here to expand what we're doing where it's needed right here in the South.
Yes, sir. Definitely. Good to see you, Brother Humble. I'm like you, come from under the host of, the non-traditional approach, and Dr. Eddie Ellis and Dr. Divine Pryor and some of them others are our comrades in this
Larry
work.
White, Lukman, who's still around too.
Absolutely, without question. But brother, we got some fellows down there too in Florida. We're gonna connect. Okay, it's good.
Please
to see
do.
you. Likewise.
Thank you so much. I want to go over to Starsky Rivas. Hey, buddy.
Hey, Tiffany, what's going on?
Hey,
my
hey.
name is Starsky Rivas. I'm a senior career coach with the Osborne Association, working out of the South Bronx. And I've been doing this work. I've been working with Osborne for the last 10 years. And I have a ton of experience, and I'm here to get more information, more strategies, more techniques on how to deal with the uptick in gun violence.
Thank you.
Thank you, brother.
Hi, Tyrone. Long time.
Hey, hey, what's good?
What's good?
What's up, HC? How y'all doing?
Jackson Strong and the building.
Jackson Strong. Hey, it's good to see everybody. I'm Tyrone Moore from Jackson, Mississippi. I co-direct Strong Arms of Jackson, part of the Credible Messenger movement. Man, good to see everybody.
Yes.
I was in New York the other day, man. I ain't had long though. We was working.
I know, man. It's all good though, bro. It's good to see you though, man. Virtually or in person. It's good to see you, brother.
Thank you. Cynthia Cummings, how are you?
I'm great, thank you. Good morning, everyone. I am the program manager for King of Kings Foundation. I'm excited to be on this call, looking forward to learning and moving forward. So, hello, everybody.
What's up, Cynthia?
Hey. Jeremy Thompson. You're muted.
Hello, Jeremy Thompson, Massachusetts, Credible Messenger. Happy to be here. I'll be doing a lot of observing, because you guys are doing it. So I want to observe and take in as much information on this first meeting as possible.
Excellent. Thank you so much for joining us. And sorry, guys, we have to do this. Sorry for calling you guys. People, we have to do these introductions. This is a movement. And I want it to be known who's on this call, and tell your brothers and sisters from other jurisdictions and states. Join us. We here, we doing it, and we making it happen. This wasn't happening 10, 15, 20 years ago. So I'm loving it. Lisa, introduce yourself. Hi, Lisa.
Hey guys, good afternoon. It is so good to hear how many states are represented today. Yes. This is awesome. So we're up here in Massachusetts. This is brand new for us, folks. We're doing some new stuff up here. Very excited. I currently am at the School of Reentry. I'm inside right now. That's where I call my home every day. And you've already met some of the crew that we brought on. But yeah, no, I'm here listening in. I want to hear how things are going in other states, and then hopefully we'll get a chance to share how we're doing things differently out here in Massachusetts.
Yes, without question. Welcome, Massachusetts, in the building.
Thank you so much. Dr. Danielle Wiley, hi.
Hello, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay, I'm Danielle Wiley. I'm the Community Outreach Specialist at the U.S. Attorney's Office for the Northern District of Georgia here in Atlanta. And several of our Credible Messengers in Atlanta are on the Southeast Credible Messengers. Glad to be here.
Thank you.
Thank you for being
here. We got to talk later too, Danielle. Russell Owen, how you doing?
I'm doing well.
Thank you. Where you calling from?
Observing, learning, getting these tools, and then just putting them back in the community.
That's good. What community? Which community? Okay.
Hey Russ, can you hear us? We just wanted to find out where exactly are you from? Where you working at? Where your work is being done at? Nice frozen.
Yeah, I'm out here in New Jersey, Camden. Okay, part of TJI, Transformative Justice Initiative, NAS, New Entry. I also work with CCYD with at-risk youth.
That's what's up. That's
excellent. Okay, so you were Sharon and Rosie out there.
Yeah.
Okay, good. Those good people. Lakia Rush, thank you for introducing yourself.
I appreciate the opportunity. Thank you.
Okay, Lakia.
Oh, hey, I'm Lakia, and I'm in Georgia, and I was invited to come by Danielle Wiley.
Thank you. Angela Wright, thank you so much.
Good morning. My name is Angela Wright. I also was invited by Dr. Danielle Wiley. I'm the baby of the group, but eager to help, eager to learn. I just came home from prison doing a 13-year, 10-month bid for a nonviolent offense. And just eager to help our youth not go down the same road that I went. I was the first time nonviolent, like I said, and I received 30 years, but ended up serving 13 years and 10 months of federal sentence. So just want to help and learn all that I can learn, soak it up and put it back and help our youth.
Yes, welcome home,
Thank
sister.
you. Welcome
Stay
home.
home.
Thanks for having me. Thank you.
We say stay home though, okay? That's what
I am.
Arthur Powell.
Good evening, everyone. Glad to see everyone this afternoon. Art Powell, Credible Messenger in Atlanta, Georgia. Part of the Southeast Credible Messengers. Been doing this work about 15 years. I'm just excited to be here. Like everyone else from Atlanta, Dr. Wiley sent me the Zoom link to tap in.
That's what's up.
Thank you for sharing. Kenya Bryan.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Kenya Bryant. I am the Outreach Worker Supervisor in Queens with the King of Kings Foundation. I've been doing this work for close to 15 years now. Trained under AT a few times. And Lance and Todd Furtado are our CEOs and founders. So I'm in an amazing space with amazing facilitators and amazing people to help grow me.
Yes, the queen of kings right there, my sister. Good to see you, Kenya.
Thank you. Anton, what is his name? Henshaw.
Anton Henshaw.
Yes.
Credible Messenger out of Camden, New Jersey. TJI, Director, Transformative Justice Initiative, and I'm also a new entry opportunity specialist for Camden County.
Excellent. Welcome. Thank you. Dina Dickerson.
Morning, everybody. I'm Dina Dickerson. I'm from Birmingham, Alabama, the Director of Programs here with the Offender Alumni Association. We are really excited about being a part of this movement. We've been doing the non-traditional work with the adults as well as our youth since 2014. Just, glad to be a part of it.
Thank you for joining us. Welcome. Kenneth Ivy. You're muted.
Yes, good morning, everyone. My name is Kenneth Ivey. I'm working out of the Bronx, Credible Messenger, lead mentor, life skill coach, working with Transformative Mentoring Initiative, the Children's Village, and I'm grateful to be here.
Thank you.
Good to see you, brother Kenneth. Welcome.
Yes. Flores Ford.
Good afternoon, everybody. I'm a Credible Messenger who is an Associate Vice President at Columbia University.
That's right.
Doing work in the community with Center for Justice, Justice and Education, Citizens Against Recidivism. It's great to be here.
Thank you for joining us today.
Yes, exactly.
Ibrahim.
Hello, everyone. I'm the Executive Director, my Executive Director of Transformative Justice Initiative out of Camden County. Juvenile lifer home after doing 30 years. I'm ready to do this work.
That's what's up, brother Ibrahim. Thank you for being with us.
Thank you. Nicole Myers, my girl.
Hi, Tiff. And my brother AT and Abdul. Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Nicole Myers. I'm the program manager for the Stand Against Violence East Harlem, aka SAVE. We're under the crisis management system, and we exude the peer violence model.
Respect. Good to see you, Queen.
Yes.
Good to see you.
Lance.
Carell. There we go. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Morning.
I'm Lance Carell. I'm the supervisor, violence interrupter supervisor for the King of Kings. Happy to be on board, everyone. I've been doing this work for a very long time, and I'm still here in the trenches. And learning something new every day is what I look forward to. So
yes,
thank you.
Thank you so
Peace,
much.
God. Peace, God.
Peace.
Tab. Okay. Okay, we'll get back. Is there anyone I missed? If I missed you, please feel free to introduce yourself.
Yes, I got Bobby Garcia with us. Here you go, Bobby.
Hey, brother AT, how you doing?
Good to see you, brother Bobby.
Good to see you too. Well, we'll be en route to Rikers Island now. Do our little thing with the juveniles, you know.
Yes, sir.
And you know I'm on board to make things right for our youth, man, and get things in order so that we don't have to be going through with our youth killing each other. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir, very much.
And I'm just happy to be aboard and be a part of this here. And I'm happy to be with a good brother like you too, AT.
Likewise, and the movement is happy to have good brothers like and sisters like you all as well, man. It's good to hear your voice, Brother Bobby.
Okay. Take care.
Thank you so much.
I'm introducing myself. I'm Greg Washington, the Executive Director of Family Unification for the City of Refuge, also a Southeast credible messenger, U.S. Attorney's Office, OAA, and the rest of the clan. So I'm happy to be on the call.
Oh man, welcome, Brother Washington. Thank you for being with us.
All right.
Tab.
My name is Robert Gurney. I'm a credible messenger for the state of Massachusetts, and I'm grateful to be here.
Oh man, it's good to have you, Brother
Thanks.
Robert.
Good to see you again. Tab, RTG.
My name is John Curette from RTG North. I'm sorry, I had to miss the microphone. Sorry, guys.
It's all good, brother. You on point.
Thank you so much, everybody. Is that everyone? Okay, I think we got everyone. So I'm super excited. I'm happy to see everyone who's on this call. This is dope. I want to commend everybody, hand clap. But right now I'm gonna share my screen again, because now we're gonna jump into this discussion. Let me just pull it up. Sorry. 1 second. There it is. Okay. There we go. Okay. So Abdul, I'm passing this back to you.
Let's go. Thank you again. Welcome everybody again. Just wanted to just delve in. The first question or the first statement that I wanted to, to start this conversation, and everyone can see the gun is an extension of the next violent act. This statement is what I use when I talk to my young people when we sit down and we're in groups and we're having discussions around issues around their concerns about their trauma. And when I explain to them that when I give them that statement, it's a whole look on, well, what do you mean by that? And I explain to them that as they continue to deal with issues around trauma, around a number of different like factors that fuel that aggression, we want to validate what their feelings are, right? I try to validate their feelings in the conversation and help them come to a space where they understand that the pain is real, that the whole that what they're going through, that thought processes, that everything is there's nothing else to do but to get involved or to respond to issues aggressively, that as they continue to move in that hurt space, that the gun is the next extension, right? So I always tell people, put the gun on the table, it doesn't fire itself. If we don't load it, if we don't use it, it doesn't kill our young people. It doesn't kill our community. So as that being a tool it's a tool of expression when it comes to their anger. And it's our responsibility as facilitators to start to kind of help them delve into why this doesn't make sense, or to make sense of what's bothering them that moves them into the space of violence. We all know in New York City recently, our former governor made gun violence a public health issue and moved it away from public safety and made it a public health issue. And we now understand that, and because of that, we can start really having it. It kind of broadens our scope as credible messengers, cure violence interrupters, to really start to think about how do we address the overlining issue of violence, right? So, and where does violence fall into, and how does violence play out in our day-to-day lives, whether it's dealing with housing, food disparity, education, poverty, which in that term, economic poverty, right? The inequities in social and criminal justice systems. These are all, this is all the fuel that moves people or young people to become aggressive, and then their responses are to the point that we lose a life. So when I thought about this statement and having and constantly how you say, what's what I'm looking for? Regurgitating this to my young people, it is to let them know that no, the issue is not the gun. The issue is not the gun. That's the furthest thing from what we need to be addressing. It's the internal person. It's the intrinsic motivations, the intrinsic issues that we need to really kind of delve into. Next.
Can I chime in right there where you was at though, Brother Abdul, if I can?
Of course. I'm sorry, ET.
No, without question. I mean, I think a lot of sometimes we do an extra over focus on just the pistol or the gun itself, right? And we get away from really what's fueling, the person to pick up the gun, to use it, and like you said, as an extension of the next violent act. Or when people hear about guns, guns don't kill people. People kill people, right? And if you look at, like you said, if the gun is not picked up, if the gun is not accessed, that's number one. If the gun is not accessed, then when a person is angry, they don't have a gun to go pick up, right? But if the gun is not used in a manner as an extension of something else that's going on, then we won't see gun violence rolling out of control the way that it is. But sometimes the emphasis is always on what happened and not why it happened, and I agree, the gun is really just an object, it really is, it's really powerless unless someone picks it up and put it to work. And in most cases, we give a lot of respect in the streets to people who are able to pick up a gun and to let it go. And that's the way that, we were reared on, how, we give credit to people. Some people assume that their credibility is attached to the fact that they had access to a gun and they used to let it go in their lifetime or whatever. But in fact, they don't look at it like how you have it here, is that it's nothing but an extension of the next violent act. Because when you look at it from that lens, you get a better understanding that the power of the gun is not really the pistol itself, but it's the person and what's going on inside the person's head at that particular time. And that's why I think this is a powerful conversation, especially as we're looking at a spike in gun violence across the country. That people need to look at it. There's some debate over the access to guns, right? There's people who are out here who are, with the Constitution, the Second Amendment, that feels that everybody has a right to bear arms, to protect their family, to protect their business or their home. Some of us in this movement may share that sentiment, and agree that people should have a right to bear arms. Right. And there's some people in this country, it is a loud voice now that's saying, no, we don't need guns. We don't need guns at all for any reason. And so that's a debate that needs to be had. But notwithstanding, no matter what side of the debate you're on, the gun is frivolous. The gun is literally powerless. It really cannot fire itself. Somebody has to pull the trigger in order for the gun to show how much damage it can do. So it's something to think about, when you're having this conversation around a gun. So those of you that are online too, if you can't, you have to mute your phone, please, so that we don't pick up your background noise. So if you can, thank you so much for that. But that's something I just wanted to add, Abdul, to this conversation.
So with that being said, there's three critical questions I think we want to make sure that we think about as we continue to have this discussion and really around the state, around this particular statement. And the first question is there a solution to ending gun violence? What is our role in helping to resolve the violence in our communities? And why is it important for community to play more of an active role in ending gun violence? So I just want folks to kind of take those questions kind of, as we continue this conversation before we go into our breakout rooms, and really just kind of come up with, because once you enter the breakout room, this is where we're going to really have these opportunities to kind of flush out and connect dots, and even dispel some of our own insecurities around or our anxieties about how we're going to continue to do this work for the rest of the year and in the coming future, and as this movement continues to grow and we take ownership.
So the question is out there on the floor, right? Is there a solution to ending gun violence? I believe that's something that you're asking the community that's online right now. Is that something anybody would like to add and answer? Somebody think that they have an answer to that? Is there a solution to ending gun violence in their opinion? The floor is open. Anybody want to?
What's up, AT?
What's good?
Bobby Garcia here. You can hear me?
Yeah, you got a
lot
of feedback where you at, Bob.
No, I told my coworker to cut her phone down. We got it now.
Okay, cool.
A solution, right? Because we got everybody on here from different states. I just came from West Palm, Miami, Atlanta. For the last 3 weeks I was gone, right? And down in them other states, they be on, right? The solution is growth. What we are, credible messengers. As long as we can get to their brain and let them know what that gun could do, we can slow up a lot of things, because in every state is different. Right. When you go to different states and they could bear arms, you see the young boys got a better understanding about life, because they know what goes on when people bear arms all around them. New York, we got sneaky things going on because we can't bear arms. So it's like, it go both ways, but the thing is growth. As long as we credible messengers here from Massachusetts, Alabama, New York, Bronx, all over, as long as we putting that word out and letting them know what's better for them, we could slow it up. Because in other states, they could bear harms to protect themselves. That's like being at home. You got the Bible to pray to and a gun to protect your family. That's why I guess they bear arms and, but the best thing we doing is being credible messengers and letting them know, because the first slip up they do the wrong way with that gun, they lose everything.
Wow, thank you. Well said, Brother Bobby Garcia Jr.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, anybody else? Is there a solution to ending gun violence?
Yeah, how you doing? This is Kenneth Ivy here. In my understanding in this work, like you said, it's not really so much about the gun. I mean, the item is there. The object is always going to be there. It's always going to be available. Where there's a will, there's a way. I mean, we all know if you want something, you're going to go get it. However, I think that even working with my youth, I try to focus on, first I try to understand what Black masculinity is, what hypervigilant behavior is, and how our youth is identifying these issues. I also understand what alexithymia is, the inability to identify emotions and express it the right way. So, I mean, this comes down to a bigger topic when it comes to the conversation.
Right.
Because, like you said, it starts with the individual. You have to change the behavior. You have to change the mindset. At first, that comes with identifying and learning new ways of how to express yourself.
Yes,
sir. You know what I mean, in our communities where it's Black masculinity. You know what I mean? Like, it's like live by the gun. I'd rather live by the gun than die on my knees. You know what I'm saying? So it's that type of understanding in our communities that the toughest kind of prevails. So once we change the trajectory of what it is to be angry and how to better express it,
right?
You have to be able to identify these hypervigilant behaviors, be able to explain it in layman terms to these kids and get them to see it and understand it. And then once they see it, then they can identify there's a problem that needs to be changed. Now, okay. That's just my perspective on it. It has,
I appreciate it.
It has assisted me in many of my trials and tribulations with the youth and trying to de-escalate gun usage.
Okay. Well, we appreciate that, bro. We don't want to get some of the other feedback, but thank you for that, man. I mean, very well, spot on. Brother Humble, you was writing in the chat. You care to share?
Yeah, I appreciate the responses, and I just like to keep in mind and remind folk that one of the problems is that this country always looks at it from an individual problem perspective. There's a problem with the Black man, there's a problem with the Latino. Before that, there was a problem with the Native, there's a problem with the African. It's a problem with there's a problem because, you know, we are non-white, first of all, right? So mass incarceration, it comes from that system. So we have to always keep that in mind. Don't lose sight. I love the work that we do with the individuals, but it is not all about the individual, because it is not an individual problem. We inherited this thing that we're calling mass incarceration, a lot of us. And before that, we inherited traumas. Poverty, we inherited, poverty is inherited, and it's man-made, right? The shame and the experiences that we have to live with because of those environments, you know, we don't lose sight of the fact that the medical model does that all the time. We go to the doctor and the doctor says, yeah, what's wrong with you? Not how you feeling, what you've been through, what's happening at home, what brought you here, like we've been talking before. So that's all I wanted to say, that let's not lose sight that there are very real community problems that need to be spoken to along the way, in conjunction with working with our young folks who are out here caught up in that environment.
Excellent.
So I'm gonna jump in right here, AT, because that answer, brother, is a beautiful segue to the next question. And of course, the next question is, what is our role in helping to resolve the violence in our communities? And it really, when you really talk about the individual, now we're talking about the collective, right? And understanding the whole, that no one person solves the issue, no one person, the removal of our young folks from community as a result of acts of violence does not change the perpetual cycle of the violence that continues to plague our community. So now this is where we could really start talking about who we are, right? And with our titles and things of that nature, and Humble saying earlier that he's been a messenger since 1996. And I always say to folks, the titles being credible, or the title doesn't define who you are. Like when I walk into my community, I'm not walking up to people and say, my name is Abdul, I'm a credible messenger. When I'm in my community, I'm Abdul. And how I move is the example of my credibility. So now asking the folks in the room, what is it that we as a collective, and not being partners with the systems, right? Because we're gonna get into that piece next about how we partner with the systems to kind of come up with immediate solutions, but how as people, indigenous people of our communities, how do we really work to kind of, you know, dispel, educate, empower, and then create a level of sustainability and growth to end this gun violence. Anybody?
Yes, you can hear me?
Yes, we can hear you, sis.
All right, so first of all, I'm gonna give you a little spill of it because I'm saving it for my TED Talk. All right, let's get that out the way. But what we need to do, and I always talk to people about this every single day, is looking at our community as we look at our homes. If you don't allow certain things that go on, you wouldn't allow certain things going on in your house, you shouldn't allow certain things going on in your community. You should look at your community, that hallway, that bodega, that stairway, that park, that church, that hospital, everything is yours. That's your home. There's 5 components that creates this ideology. There's nowhere on the planet that you can go that doesn't have hospitals, schools, law, police, churches, religion, and people, right? We need to stop separating these 5 entities. We need to come together with these 5 entities and create a strong household. And in order to do that, we need everybody on the same page. There's money in separation. So they want you, oh, we don't mess with the police, or we don't mess with the churches, or we don't mess with this hospital, because it's money is separation. But if we all think that nowhere we go, no house you could go to, that these components are not going to work and live in our house, it's not going to work. So if we all come together with these 5 entities and say, listen, we all live together. We all live in this house. And in order for it to work, we have to come together and make this work. And everybody comes together, it's going to work. So that's our responsibility. Our responsibility is to get these churches outside, not inside, outside. We need these hospitals involved, whatever community functions they use, to have them come outside and let people know what they need to do, how healthcare could work for them, how it work against them, real resources. We need schools to have at least one or two restorative justice practice sites, or have some people outside the schools mediating and being outside when the kids let out of school, and have a curriculum where it has restorative justice practice included. Then we have to get the police involved, and in a way where if someone is getting arrested a few times, they let us know and we work with them. Because a lot of cops in my area, I'm not speaking for everybody else, in my area, they don't want to arrest these kids. They want to help them, sincerely help. So that's in my area. I make sure of that. So, and then with people, they're so conditioned to hate, to just write our kids off, to not want to communicate with our young people. We and now it's to a point where they're not even having the respect for our older people or our women or our children. So we have to bring that disconnect back. We have to get them together, all these people, and have them live in this one great peaceful house. And that's how we have to look at it. If you can't do what you want to do in my house, you damn sure can't do what you want to do in my community. And that's how we have to look at it and tackle it. And stay tuned for my TED Talk, where I will go definitely in depth with this.
So I want to jump in right quick.
Okay.
So what I want to say is too, we have to also pour into people when you're facing stuff, trauma. It's all about healing.
That's right.
I've seen a therapist. I don't care. I had issues. In order for me to get through those issues, I had to talk to somebody. Everybody's not talkable. Like, I can't just go talk to anybody. So I went to seek help. We have to do that. Parents have to encourage their kids. You have to talk to your children. You got to get down to the source of what's going on. I speak to my sons every day. How was you doing? Anybody bothering you in school? How was your day? How you feeling today? I ask these questions.
Mm-hmm.
I want to know what's wrong. I never want my kid to leave here and he's feeling terrible or someone to bully him, because that's where it comes from, that anger and all that aggression that builds up. And then you go out and you commit this violent act. Talk to your kids. Seek help for your kids, not your kids, our kids. We need to do it for our kids because it takes a village. We need to get these negative connotations out of our mind as well. I was just for instance, speaking with someone, I bought a home, I moved to Connecticut, blah, blah, blah. Okay, that's great. So I'm speaking to a family member and she was like, what? She's older than me, like 10 years older than me. She's like, I'm never leaving the hood. Okay, that's good for you. Like that negative is just there. Like, where's the positivity? But you know what? You're in that negative. Like we said, it was inherited. It is inherited. Her mama didn't work. She don't work. She live off the system. So it's going to be a continuing cycle. Education is key. People be like, oh, you don't need education. This person is rich and they didn't go to college or they didn't go to school. Education just doesn't mean college. You can take up a vocational trade. You know what I'm saying? It's a bunch of things you could do. You could be an entrepreneur. Start teaching them, and so that we can get out of this. Yeah, well, I was poor growing up, and I see this a lot. I was poor growing up, and I wanted my kid to have it all. And that's why I went out and I strived and I did what I had to do. We got parents that are not teaching their kids that way. They live in that poverty. They stay in it. They raise their kids in it. And then their kids do the same thing. It's a continued cycle. And then they're angry. They're angry because we was poor. angry because all we had was Franks and beans to eat. So I'm gonna go out and rob this person. I'm gonna go out and do that. No, we gotta start living positive and creating positive spaces for our young people.
Tiffany, I just want to interject, right? Carlos Gonzalez on PC Arches Program help people in the South Bronx, right? And you know, I'm gonna piggyback on Coco, what you said, Tiffany, and the other young man, Bobby Garcia, what he said. You know, somewhere along the line, guys, I was a kid in the 60s growing up, right? And you know, my story is jails and institutions, right, and all that stuff, right? But the unity, somewhere along the line here, the unity was gone. It's just gone. Because listen, I grew up in an era that were flying colors. We were gang banging, right? But yeah, there was guns and people got shot and we scraped and all that stuff, right? But you know, we knew the police officer from the neighborhood. You know, Scotty. I remember Scotty. You know, I remember Kojak. You know, and not only that, the bodega, you know, and it seemed like we lost that sense of unity. I think what happens now is people, as long as it's not happening in my house, right? The past, you know, when I was growing up, we scraped, we did all of that. And all these things are going on. It just wasn't out of control, right? Because the village was involved. The bodega guy. I remember the teachers coming to the school. I remember the doctors coming. You know, that unity, and somewhere it got lost, right? And that's my thing. Like, how can we get, you know, how can we get this back, right? Because I've been to jail and did all that stuff, right? But thank God, right, for that unity that was there, you know. And that's my thing today is like, how can we get this back, right? Because yeah, we're credible messengers, but not only one credible messenger can do this. You know what I mean? It's like Coco said, you know, the past, you know, the church has got to get, you know, the community's got to come back somewhere along the line. That's the community, everybody just said, what? I just wanted to share that, guys.
Nah, you did. Thank you.
Hey, I wanted to say something back to Brother Abdul's first question. How do we end gang violence?
And this is who's speaking?
It's Greg Washington from Atlanta, Georgia.
Okay,
Southeast Credible Messenger. And that's a deep question. But one thing I wanted to kind of put out on the table, because I did it with my own kids, is we need to educate kids about the gun. I've told my son, who's 21, that if he wants a gun, go get your gun license, son. Learn how to possess a gun positively. I think most of us that have did any criminal activity with a gun, it was because our criminal way of thinking.
Yes, sir.
And I feel like if we just educate kids, introduce kids to the gun. I mean, you rather for it to happen in the bathroom with a bunch of other dudes telling them to go rob this old lady. So I think, you know, for us, especially us who've been affected by the criminal justice system, is let's fight to get our rights back. Let's fight to change policy, and let's teach that gun. I mean, other people, other cultures, they teach the gun to their kids. So then their kids know that, hey, this comes with a lot of responsibility.
That's right.
And I just think that's something that we have to, as we fight to change policy, to do all these things, let's get, you know, let's show them how to properly possess a gun.
I like that, Brother Washington. If I can just chime in on top of that.
Yes, sir.
And that is to Tiffany's point. First of all, I love my Franks and beans to this day.
Me too.
I don't know about others. You know,
I had some last night.
I was about to say that.
That was one of the best meals I remember growing up. But to the point that Brother Washington and others are saying, relating to how do we resolve, I think I heard it even in Sister Coco. It takes a community, right? And it's not just law enforcement, because some people look and turn to or assume that law enforcement by itself will be the way we resolve, you know, the gun violence. And as we see demonstrated, that is farthest from the truth, because you can come into any one of our neighborhoods or communities and take all our young people off the streets and put them in jail, and all you do is leave a gaping hole for another group of youth to pick up the same thing that they left off. So we need to, as the community, fill those gaps, right? Like the brother said, we have to educate people. The gun is here. I don't foresee the gun ever disappearing. Let's be honest about it. You know, the gun is here. The access to the gun is coming into our communities through some means. We have no involvement in it, no knowledge of it, but yet it makes its way into our neighborhoods, all right, and accessible. It is a problem when our kids can access a gun before they can access a job. You know, and I think that we need to realize that if there are going to be guns in or around about us, like what Brother Abdul's point is, then we need, and Brother Washington's point, we need to educate them about the gun. We need to let them know that the gun is really powerless, right? We need to take away the popularity that comes from having a gun, right? Because right now it's glorified in our neighborhoods, right? And so because they see it in music, they see it in videos, they hear it, they play it in video games, they really glorify this weapon, this object. But we need to be more, as a community, more educating and being able to fill the gaps, right? Before a person has a need to pick up a gun and use it because they may be angry with somebody. That's what a lot of the work that we all do as interrupters and as mediators, and you know, just being able to get in front of the matter when we hear about it. We need to make sure that we respond. And we want to make sure that we're educated. We got to keep it real with people, because if other people are walking around carrying guns and using guns against us, then how do we defend ourselves? But how do we defend ourselves? What I think I heard the Brother Washington say, legally, you know, and properly. That's what we have to get to and understand. That's part of the generation right now that we're growing up in. Just wanted to put that out there as well.
So I just wanted
to,
I'm
Jeremy.
gonna try to hold on
Can
1
I
second.
say something real quick? Oh,
I'm gonna bring you right back, brother. Give me 1 second. So I want to kind of bring that whole, just what that the two pieces of information and the dialogue that was just shared. The word I want to put out there is demystify. Once we demystify the power of the gun, the object of the gun,
yes,
then we change the way our young people respond. And I'm the brother that just was speaking. I'm gonna bring 1 second, and I'm gonna let you come and speak real quick, because it's like this. It's like when our young people study martial arts. You know, when we was watching karate flicks on Saturday, we tried to be Bruce Lee.
That's right.
But then when we went into training, when we started training, and they taught us what martial arts really was, now it became, it was an art form. It was like we understood the power of demystifying it and showing it what this responsibility is, what you're learning and engaging in, and what this really is. Mm-hmm. It kind of brings that heightened piece. Because what do we hear from kids when they say or people in general who have a gun? Oh, I felt safe. Mm-hmm. I felt power, mm-hmm. right? And then, but as they understand the statement that it's an extension of your next violent act, the power, now we have to deal with the anger and the power structure, right? Mm-hmm. Because anger, it's a power structure that leads to action. Yes, right? Sir. It's a power structure, right? And the anger is the fuel. It escalates. So what do they start off with? The first is the fight in the school. That's the first thing. Or the argument. Or the argument, right? Mm-hmm. And then it's the fight in the school. How many of us know, and I'm about to age myself, when we used to be in the schoolyard, we want to fight, and we standing there and we bump each other like, yo, hit me first. Hit me first. Hit me first. If you bump me, then I'm gonna do this to you. Right? Because we really didn't want to do it, but right. Because of our structure in our group, in our collective, if I don't do this, then I'm gonna be looked at as weak, you know. Right. And if I don't respond and to justify this act that's bothering me, you know, that you imposed pain on me, or you imposed a level of uncomfortability on me. If I don't do something next, then I'm not going to be accepted by my peers. And then I'm going to continue to be bullied, right? So when we start saying, well, that gun is not really, you know, it's more power in walking away.
That's right.
Than it is, you know, shooting somebody, right? We don't, and the OGs in the room, and I'm talking age-wise, we don't get to our age if we don't think like that when we were involved in conflicts, even at our heightened levels of of our insanity, right? At our height levels of our insanity, we was able to navigate through certain things, whatever that was, to be able to sit in this room right now and have a more intellectual conversation, an enlightened conversation, and empower each other to support our young people when we go back to do this work. Go ahead, brother. I'm speaking. We're going to move on to the third question.
Jeremy? Oh, okay, there he is.
That's it. Okay, go ahead, Jeremy.
No, I just wanted to touch real quick. I don't want to slow nothing up.
No,
But,
you my brother.
My position on that question too is a lot of what you guys are saying is information, knowledge, awareness to our youth, our young people who be out there. But the other thing is I don't think we're real and honest with them about a lot of the situations, and controlling the narrative is switching the fight. We all know, gangs are going to be around, guns are going to be around. But my pitch to them is always switching the fight and letting them know what the people in the systems think of them. They putting these things here so they can lock you up. They make money off you when you lock you up. Do you like people making money off you? Now let's go to the racism part. Then you can educate them on racism, and then you can start educating them on. And if we want to age ourselves and talk about community, let's talk about structural racism, like things like when the father couldn't stay in the home when welfare came around, right? And he had to go hide somewhere, because these are all systematic oppressions that lead to these type of, violent natures that are happening in our neighborhood. One of the most influential things that really wreaks havoc on our community today is entertainment and music. It's worse than any drug out there. I keep telling people it's worse than any drug, because that's in your spirit. That touch your soul. We come from that. So when you wake up every day and you playing Chief Key for your kid, all right, every single day they listening to Chief Key. Every single day they're listening to this. When we grew up off of Grand Pooba, all these other people, poor righteous teachers, right? You got all these different elements. Now they only get one perspective, and they're being drilled with this perspective, and they think this is how they're supposed to be as a young minority youth in this country.
Crazy. It's crazy,
right?
Brother Jeremy. You said that they're being drilled with it, right? Which is drill music. That's what they're listening to right now, right? Go ahead.
Exactly. So I kind of think, and I take the approach of, when I'm with these dudes, I'm trying to change their narrative. I'm not in the business of trying to take people out of gangs and whatever. They try to make gang a negative connotation. No, that's a group of people chilling, building on the same mind frame. So stay in
community.
That. That's community. So let's just change the narrative of how you operate.
I want to read Sister Brianna. Go ahead, brother. I apologize. Go ahead, brother. You said instead of shooting?
Yeah. But yeah, that's it.
Okay.
Just along those lines.
Nah, well said though, brother. Thank you, Brother Jeremy. I noticed that Sister Brianna wrote something really deep inside the chat. She said, I just wanted to mention that with the teaching of the gun, to educate the value of life of both self and the other individual, teaching the value in mindset and positive influences. What is the greater meaning that should be taught to peers like myself? You want to chime in about that, Brianna?
Yes, sure. I'm 19. I'm in school right now, and I'm working here. I work with SetCap with Wildcat. I do ICM plus peer mentoring, and just to shine light on what I was saying. Sorry, hold on. I'm sorry. Just to shine light on what I was saying. I think that is mostly just a development of the mindset, and what we're exposed to. Yes, there's influence of music, and of environment, but it's also just based on how strong your mindset is. Because you can combat whatever is around you. You can easily. It's just how strong your mind is. You can easily separate what's going on around you and how your mind is. I think that should be, you know, preached a lot more. It's just the value of your life, you know, just like where it can go and how easily you can just change things around. Yes, you know, you could listen to certain music. I listen to all kinds of music. You know, I have no particular genre that I listen to, but it's all about how you interpret it and what you actually grasp from it. You know, yeah. So that's all I have to say. Thank you.
Thank you, Queen.
Thank you. So I'm gonna throw this third question out there because I think when we start talking about the importance of community and the role they play in ending the gun violence, this is where we start. This is the piece where we start talking about civic engagement. We start talking about understanding on the most local level how the community has power, right? How we drive change through our collective efforts to work with our local folk, our local systematic folks, or our politicians, that you would call our aldermen, our Congress and state senators and city council. This is where we start to really have a say, right? We in the last, I want to say 8, 12, and now 15 years, right? There were several major shifts that showed the power of people of color. In the 8 years of the presidency of Barack Obama, the 4 years of Trump, and now the newly elected president, Joe Biden. And in each part of in all of these elections and all of these political climates, it was the influence of people of color, us as a community on a national level, that dictated change or dictated things, the responses that our community had to deal with. And I'm saying that to say what? When we came out for the first Black president, most of us never believed it would happen. We saw it. We made it happen for 8 years. When Trump was in the game, what do? We fell back. They ain't for us, so we gonna fall back. And we watched what Trump did for the last 4 years. And then again, we came back to the plate. We said, oh no, we can't have Trump for another 4 years. So we came back to the plate again, and we said, okay, this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna show y'all the power. We're gonna show what our influence has on this country, and we did it again. But now I'm saying that to say, because now as credible messengers, if we're looking at what we do in our community, our mind has to be global. We have to be global thinkers, and how on all levels of change we have to be influential, right? So now when we come back to our communities and we're sitting with our young folks and we're saying to them, guess what? Yeah, we got to immediately address this gun thing, right? And I'm just saying it, the gun thing, right? But while we're addressing that immediate response, because all it is, the gun violence is an immediate response to anger. Yeah. We also have to do more work to kind of put ourselves in a position to make sure that resources that are available are being allocated appropriately by the work we do collectively from our communities. Because it's on us to get to how they say, to get to the bag. It's not an individual thing. It's a collective thing. Right. If we're not moving, if our community is not moving in that space to do some work, then we're gonna have this perpetual cycle of insanity, right? And like AT said, they're just gonna remove another generation of young people, leave that gap of trauma, and then and our young people who were lost, who were the babies at the time, who are now lost because the influencers are in prison or removed from the community. They're gonna leave that insanity right there, and these young kids are gonna carry that on. That level of trauma. So I wanted to say that when we talk about, and I threw that out there to kind of go on to a larger global thought process, or from just being micro in our communities and what we do, and what our thinking is, and think about this. But I also wanted to say one more point. Restorative justice ain't always a kumbaya moment, people. It ain't always kumbaya. It's gonna be some real aggressive conversation that's gonna make people uncomfortable.
That's right.
And it has to happen, right? Safe spaces is I always say a safe space is how safe I make it. Because I can easily be in a brick and mortar and turn it up. but I could stand on the block and hold a cipher too.
Abdul.
With a blunt going, and I hate to say it, with a blunt going around, and we dropping some real serious knowledge and information that can be translated and then delivered to our other young folks when we're out there, right? So when we talk about on the next, we're gonna answer this question, delve into this a little bit. We're gonna jump to the next one, and then we're gonna talk about facilitation of resources. So anybody could jump in.
Abdul, there's a few people with their hands up. I want you all to acknowledge that I see you, Gabriella, Ronald Rivera, Julius. So we want to let those people go ahead and chime in.
I can't see them, so I don't see the hands. So
I see them, but I wanted to say that. You could jump in, any of the three of you.
Gabriella, Julius, and Ronald in that order, maybe.
All right, this is Julius. I'll jump in. First of all, I had to leave for a few minutes, and so I apologize if I missed anything of importance. But I do want to comment on what I did hear. And one of the things I'm listening to is we're using the word community, and then we're using the word youth, and we kind of like have them in separate categories, like they're not part of the same whole. And so the reason I'm bringing this point up, because I think that one of the things we haven't discussed in this conversation was mental health. And that's how I'm kind of approaching this, through a mental health issue as well. Because I grew up in the community. I heard the brother speaking, I think it was Carlos, I think, he was talking about and growing up in the community. And I grew up in that community too. And in that community, I grew up speaking to everybody who lived in my community. I said good morning to everybody. That was a part of the normal dialogue. That's not even present today. People who live in the same community don't even speak to their next door neighbor today. So we have and I believe it's a mental health issue, not because they need drugs, but we need to get back to some of the basic things. When we talk about these kids on the street, we can't separate them from their mothers and aunts and uncles and sisters and brothers who are in that same community. But we keep talking them as two separate entities. And the reality is those kids who are shooting, carrying these guns, their parents live in this very same neighborhood that the shooting is going on in. However, we're not connecting those two things effectively. And I'm not saying no one has thought about this, but I don't know if we're effectively bringing the community back together, because we can't say we're going to fix the community and then we're going to fix the gun situation. That's all in one community. Right. And I think, maybe I'm overthinking this, but there's a mental health issue, man, that we have to, we're kind of fucked up as a people. I mean, we've allowed all these, excuse my language, we've allowed a lot of things to come into our communities. Language, I heard these people talk about the music being one of the problems, and this being one of the problems. And the reality is that this all started because of a disconnect between the people that we're out there to serve or try to help turn their lives around, and the community that we keep talking about we want to make stronger. But we're doing it, in my opinion, in two separate quandaries, and we got to bring those two things together sometimes. And so when I'm out there, I'm out here in Staten Island, basically, I'm out here with True to Life, but they doing what they do, and I do what I do out here, and we work with the same population. But I'm talking to these families too, man. I'm introducing families to families who live next door to each other. Right. We don't even do that. We just, everybody's just in their own space. And if it ain't happening in my house, it ain't my business. Like, that's a big problem that we're facing, man. And I don't know if we are attacking it as thoroughly as we can. So I'm just throwing that out there, that if we're going to be farmers, man, we plant seeds, we got to make sure that we nurture and go back and nurture those seeds that we plant in these young people and in the community. They can't be a one and done, that we're so profound that we only got to say it one time and everybody's going to change their life. You got to go back out there and say the same shit over and over and over again until some difference and change happens. Again, I don't want to take up a lot of time, and I don't want to get off the topic, but we have to think about this a little more holistically and enlarge our playing field. We can't keep playing in the same playing field and expecting different things to happen. We got to enlarge that playing field and make different things happen within it and outside of it.
Thank you for that. Thank you, Julius. We on the same page, because I mentioned that earlier, addressing mental health, addressing when they're angry, parenting. You have to address the families. So thank you so much, the families as well. Thank you. Ron or Gabriella?
Okay, so hi everybody. It's good to see all of you, because we've been like in, I don't know what world, which I don't like this virtual world. But and I think I'm gonna chime in what you were saying. One of my things, so as you know, I run the community partnership and I work close with ACS, but I'm also an artist and an ECHOS mentor. And my argument is that we continue to be thrown to the side. They give us money for mini proposals and they know what works. It's just not investment. And I always talk from the artist perspective. We know that mentorship and the work that we do and the credible messenger work, if we do it nurturing and healing our mentors, but also training ourselves to empower and then going and continue the empowerment works. But analyze how we work. We work as a minimum part-time. When we have a crisis of gun violence and mental health issues, that needs to go hand in hand. All this like we did a exercise with the youth about gun violence, and everything that they put, we said draw inside a gun, everything that causes gun violence. And everything, every word they put inside that gun to be a bullet, it's all poverty. It's not other word. It's just poverty and the mismanagement of funding, and where we continue to experiment instead of funding what works and giving support. Then when it comes to mental health, analyze the Medicaid. It's not about our programs only. Analyze the Medicaid budget and the Medicaid reimbursement and how we are funding the clinics that are our neighborhood and where our youth go. It's incredible that we cannot find anger management for kids on between the ages of 13 and 21. And when you find as an adult, it's too late. Mm-hmm. Because aggression, if you come from a DV violence, you have emotional health, or you are coming from whatever aspect of your trauma, you need quality, because we do have mental health programs, but no quality. And the work is quality programs that we don't have. It doesn't exist in our neighborhood.
Until today.
It doesn't.
I say that until today, my sister, because what I like to do when I'm listening and I hear about the problems, I like to think about the solutions, right? And I think that the person that we look in the mirror and see every morning and every night is the solution. So we can become those anger management specialists. I'm an anger management specialist. You can become an anger management specialist. We can become an anger management specialist and provide that quality, service need for that population.
Mm-hmm. So, and I'm glad for that. And I'm going to keep always that in mind. And that's what I try, because what I've been saying is that we've been sitting at this round table. Okay, Archer started like 12, 13 years ago, or whatever amount of time. And we continue to discuss the same thing. And we have worked on reforms, but we think when the reform is put out there that the solutions are come. No, those reforms needs to continue to be tweaked, because it's still work done. And I'm gonna agree with Abdul when he says we're gonna have to have conversations that are uncomfortable. And it's getting to that point. And sometimes things that we took off the table temporarily, we're gonna have to put it on the table. Sometimes we're going to have to dance with the devil for a few seconds and then go back to the God sense, because things that needs to be put, that going to put us uncomfortable, and they're uncomfortable. But to get to an agreement, sometimes we're going to have to try out things. And I think we're getting at that point where a lot of reforms we have passed and it's getting out of control because we are not tweaking. And at the same time, the reforms are coming. And I'm talking about the juvenile justice reform and all this reform. Yes, I don't want people in prison, but are we giving the programs the correct resources to address all the needs those brothers and sisters are having when they come back to the community?
Excellent.
If no, we're doing nothing. They're gonna release and they're gonna come back at us, because this is the catch. They're gonna come us and say, yes, we did this for you. The reform is there, but it's not working. And that's what's happening with a lot of the juvenile justice reform. The kids are going wild, and they're gonna come back to us and say, oh no, we're gonna have to go back to create more jails because it's not working. But because we are not demanding for them to tweak the mental health system, we are not demanding them, you are releasing all these kids into the community and you are not giving equality resources. So if we get this work, if we don't start this work between us and the solutions and we start demanding, we're gonna go back to a system that is gonna be more punishing than what we already had in the past.
I appreciate that, Gabby.
And I think we're at the leverage of a wake-up point, and if we don't do it, nobody's gonna do it for us because no one understands our community better than us.
Well said. Well said. Well said. Thank you for that. We really appreciate everybody's sentiments. I see it in the chat. It's been valid. Don't think that you're off point. Don't think that you're overdoing or oversaying. These are things that are coming to your spirit and you're speaking out on it. And I think it's dope because it's really it's broadening the conversation, is making us think exactly to the 3 questions that was presented before you. Tiff, how you want to move forward? It's almost 2 o'clock. I mean, 1 o'clock. So how do you want to?
So 1 o'clock, ending at 2:30. It was the next question. You want to take this question, Abdul, into your breakout room?
So I just want to throw it out there because at the, hopefully we get, you know, we'll keep it short, brief responses for those who would like to comment on it, and then this particular question this particular statement will be fielding in the breakout room where I'll be facilitating, so we can continue to build on it. But I just wanted to throw it out there to collective for those who might not make it to my space, and they'll be with Brother AT doing some work that he's going to do with the 3 R's. So I always say this to folks all the time. I'm not in the business of saving lives. I'm in the business of facilitating change. And immediately when I say that, people are like, well, what are you talking about if you're a credible messenger? There's 2 things I say. Everyone has a credible message, but everyone is not a credible messenger. Everyone has a story. Everyone has a story, right? And in the business, if I'm in the business of saving lives, I'm gonna get a little bit spiritual. I'm doing God's work. So God changes trajectory. All I'm in the business of doing is facilitating the opportunity for a person to get the vision, you know, get out their own way to see the blessings that's in front of them, right? So now when I say this is what we start talking about when we start talking about the work of what we do as, you know, whether you're a violence interrupter, whether you're a credible messenger. You know, I always tell people the title does not negate what we do in our communities with our people. Violence interrupter, credible messenger, same thing. I always tell people, my name is Abdul. They say, oh, you're a credible messenger. No, my name is Abdul. I'm not credible until somebody's willing to listen to what I gotta say. That's what I tell them all the time. But in my work, it's about creating opportunities to have these open conversations, this open dialogue and safe spaces, but then also being able to network amongst folks like that's in this room right now, right? And take a little bit of the expertise, right? Because when Julius said something earlier about that we're not talking about mental health, we're not connected, we're having youth and we talk about community, right? But in business, we have to compartmentalize certain parts of the work, right? So you got those who do media, you got those who do finances, you got those who do contract acquisitions, and guess what? It's all under the umbrella of this one company, right? There's nothing different, but people do different parts to make this company successful. So in this business of helping young folks or people transform, we have to be specific about what we do and how we go about it. And then when we come to a space where we can't do more than what we're capable of, is when we go to our partners. So the statement under that is talking talking to the importance of understanding the roles of our respective spaces while the work is a collective effort and sharing resources is a response. Because the first question I asked on the prior slide is how do we end gun violence? And the last part of this statement is our work, our resources, and the sharing of our resources is an immediate response to stopping our young people from reaching out to the gun. Because guess what? If a young person talks to me and I'm in the Bronx, I met him in the Bronx, but he's in Brooklyn, but he wants to be in Brooklyn, I'm sending him to my Brooklyn folks. I'm touching them out there like, yo, my kid is on his way. Catch him because he's coming, right?
Yep. And vice versa. Mm-hmm.
or if I'm talking to a young person, and for me, I've looked at this whole piece around being a credible messenger as a movement. I also have understanding now it's become a professionalized and credentialed that it's my responsibility as a credible messenger to continue to educate myself and put myself in spaces where I can really legitimize the profession of being a community advocate, because that's all I am, is a community advocate, right? I'm a community advocate that works inside of the system. So when I identify myself, I identify as a community advocate who has the responsibility of mentoring inside of a justice system, a partner of a component of the justice system to help navigate my young folks out of that system, right? And in doing so, I also understand having these conversations. I might not be able to have all of the right conversations. I might have to go on and refer these folks to the mental health, professionals who are somewhere in this room right now with us. And we want to make sure we acknowledge that they're in the room and that what their importance to our community is. And not only demystifying the gun, but making sure that we demystify the whole piece about that having a conversation with a mental health specialist is like taboo.
Mm-hmm.
It's taboo. It's not. It's a part of the response process that we need to embrace to help our young people and our communities remove themselves from trauma. So I'm gonna open it up and we can go. Anybody want to respond?
Abdullah.
Yeah.
This is Julius. Just want to inform you, and I'm bringing in one of my young men that's in my program on here, man, and he's listening, and hopefully he'll have something to input to this conversation. All right, I want you all to meet my young man, Fonzo.
Can we give it a pause?
Yes.
Thank you, Julius. Anybody? We got about 5 minutes before we're gonna jump into the breakout rooms. Anybody want to respond?
I move the chair a little bit. Tight ass motherfucker. You ain't paying for that.
Tiffany, you want to?
No, I think his young person wants to speak.
Okay, so all right, let's go.
Thank you, Master.
I can't see if anybody.
My name is Alfonso. How everybody doing today?
Good. Nice to meet you, Alfonso.
Doing good, brother.
You don't want to add to the conversation?
Conversation about. Huh?
I think he just wanted to be acknowledged. If I'm not mistaken, I don't think he had anything to say.
Yeah, I have nothing to say.
Not at this point.
Okay.
Yeah, okay. Welcome to the space, brother. You belong, brother. We're glad to have you.
So Gabriella's hand is up. Does she want to speak?
Oh no, I already did. Sorry, I have to put my hand on.
All right. So with that being said, you guys, I'm going to send everyone into breakout rooms so that we could take a deeper dive. You're going to go into random rooms. I'm just going to do it randomly. So, it's 1:04. You'll be in the room until about 1:40.
Yep, sounds good. 1:40, 1:45, ladies.
Okay, so I'm going to send everyone now. Oh, shoot.
They asked me to send me to AT's room.
Well, yeah. Okay. It's not doing anything. It's supposed to randomly do it, but bear with me. Everybody's going. You have to accept once you're sent to a room. Everybody's in the room.
I'm not in the room yet.
I'm not in the room.
It's happening. It's breaking down as we speak.
I'm not in the room either.
Okay.
It's breaking down now. It's breaking down now.
Okay. Abdul, you're in. Okay, he's gone. So Julius, you're not in the room, right? I don't know why
No, I'm
this
still
happened.
here.
Okay. You have to accept it. When I send you into the room, you have to accept it. There you go.
Yeah, I'm waiting to go into a room also. I think I'm supposed to go into AT's room.
I forgot. Let me see. I gotta go in the room and see which room he's in. So just bear with
Okay.
me. Everybody.
All right.
Okay, and Lakia. Everybody should all be in rooms. You have to accept your room. Lakia? Let me go on to Breakout Room 1. Who's in Breakout Room? Let's pull those out. Hello?
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think me and AT should mute ourselves and let the room run itself right now for a little while.
Yes, sir.
We can do that.
Done.
So, hey, this is Robin.
Hi, Robin.
Hey, Tiff, how are you?
Hey,
Hey, everybody, family. AT, I wanted to say thank you. That was an awesome presentation. You know, we always think that we may know it all, and we really don't know it all. So I learned some stuff from you, and I really appreciate it. you sharing and being able to kind of walk us through the relapse and the recidivism and the recovery process. My question, I guess, is where are, like, so with the expansion of CMS, what's the goal? What's the goal for sort of implementing some of this stuff that you just presented to us?
Thank you too, Robin, and it's always a pleasure to be in the same space with you. That's my sister colleague from the beginning of the whole crisis management system, cure violence movement being launched here in New York City. So those of you that are employed today in the crisis management system or cure violence site, owe a greater gratitude to Robin Holmes for being one of our first queens of this work and voices of this work. But yes, like you said, the goal is to grow it. As you see, it continues to grow and expand. But we want to make, the training, we want to make it, the implementation of the growth and development of these individuals, make it more universal, right? We want to offer to these sites right now, because a lot of sites, as you know, everybody's independent and they have their own autonomy, but we want to offer a lot of the things that we know that works. Right? When we want to follow any model, we want to first make sure that model works. And then if it does, if it's something that could be replicated and applied to any other individual site, we want to offer that up. It doesn't cost them anything, outside of the fact that they're willful to implement it and make it a part of their practice. We just don't want people to hire people like ourselves. We want them to be able to retain them, and then once you get them to commit, we want to grow them, and take them to the next level so that they could become trainers of trainers themselves and be able to travel the country and the world as well and be able to be a part of this incredible messenger, movement that we're growing.
Thanks, AT.
You're welcome.
Anyone else want to add what was shared in the breakout rooms?
Being a part of this work for a while, understanding as he was speaking to the fact that we, those providers, because I know I'm gonna tell our guys that we are the people that we serve. And so he emphasized how we are our first participants and how it is that we need to look for those danger zones and warning signs that we see in others, each other, that may lead us to a relapse. And that relapse don't necessarily have to be in drugs, it can be in our criminality and our behavior, and it starts, of course, in our thinking. And it's probably centered around some emotions that we don't always divulge. And so it was great to have a supportive community in order to do that. And that's how we started in the South, where I am. We started with a support group for each other and just grew it from that space.
Thank you. Laureen had her hand up. Laureen, would you like to share?
Yes, hi everybody.
Yeah.
My name is Laureen, as you can see, and I live in the Bronx. I grew up in the South Bronx. I've been doing, it wasn't called Credible Messengers, but I've been in the streets, boots to the ground since the late 80s. I even trained with Eddie Ellis, and worked hard to put peace. We had a big war with the Land Kings, the Bloods, the Crips, the Netas, all of that. But anyway, one of the things that was said was about teaching our youth. There was a sister, Coco, whom I had made a mention of teaching our youth that they could be our next legislators, senators, and so on and so forth, that we can't forget that part of them, so that, they can run our country someday. But Coco said that's what she did. She would take them to PTA meetings, precinct meetings, community board meetings. And I think that that's a very good message, because I did the same thing. And I even did I started a program with some lifers waiting to go upstate in Rikers Island called the YAP, Youth Assistant Program, where I would take kids from the neighborhood on the Rikers Island bus to Rikers Island, which is a prison in New York. And I say this because I don't know where everybody is at. But I think that if we could take that message and we could really understand that we should take our youth to those types of community meetings, housing meetings, mayor's meeting, governor meetings, whatever meetings we can make. I think if we start teaching them there, it'll begin to give them a feel of they have a stake in their community, and then things can grow from there. I also want to say that I'm a retired social worker, and something that I think it was Abdul said, we have to realize that when we're doing the work, that we're not pushing what we want. We have to know ourselves, and we have to understand that we're trying, we're trying to do what's best for the person we're working with, but not on our terms. And I'm putting it in different words, but not on our terms, not because it makes us feel good. That it has to always be with the mindset of the person we're working with and that family. Because our goal is to heal communities, not just heal the child, but heal communities. And we do that by working with full families. And that's basically what I wanted to say. I also want to say that I ran the streets too, Coco. I ran the streets since I was 10 years old. I happened to marry the leader of like the worst gang there was in the Bronx. And I'm a survivor of domestic violence, rape, molesting. And my grandson was shot when he was 3 years old. He's 11 now. And when I went to court, the judge himself told the perp, I've never in my time on a bench heard a victim speak so well, because what I told him was, I hope you use your 15 years to better yourself and educate yourself so that when you come home, you can work with kids that are currently thinking like you were thinking. I don't think, because he was put in the newspaper as a monster. I said, I don't think you were a monster. I think you were a dummy that did a stupid thing. That's what I think. Because of course my grandson wasn't the intended target. And I said, and I hope someday maybe your daughter and my grandson can play together in a park when you come home, because they'll still be young. And he was crying. The perpetrator was crying. And so I identified, Coco, with you 100,000,000%. You were speaking, but I felt you was telling my story. And I just wanted to say that. Bless you all.
Thank
Bless
you.
you too, sis.
Yes, thank you for your contribution. That means a lot. Anyone else want to add what was shared, what they learned? I do.
Yeah, I'm here, Ronald. Man, I'm just appreciative to this platform, to hear the information that was shared. Just added a lot of value to my life, right? Right now, I've been blessed. I'm a guy from streets of Brooklyn, Bushwick, and a product of all that, the '80s, and I did some time, and one day was enough, right? Let me say that. I got to tell you about the years. One day was enough, and man, I was the lucky one, right? I went to prison. My brother got murdered, right? And just to have this full platform and this just joining Archer's program and Incredible Messenger just gave me a renewed purpose, right? For 27 years I've been out of prison, right? That's the glorifying part of my story, right? Not the prison. And man, and And throughout all those years, I've been doing a lot of self-discovery, spiritual healing, just healing from a lot of traumas. And man, and to find a place just like this, right? I feel like you guys are family already. Just to identify with the commonalities of what we've experienced, right? And man, to just put what I have to use, right? I've done it with my family. You know, I'm not batting 100, right? I have incredible amount of kids. I got nephews and nieces, and I still have some nephews that are out in the street that are gang members. They run around with guns. They're part of the problem. But most of them, right? 2 out of 35 of them are still doing their thing. Like I haven't been able to reach them, and just joining this this movement. I look at it as a movement, and man, it's just blessed my soul, and gives me the opportunity to be like Brother AT talked about, to be just not credible, but be incredible to those that I could tell them that there is another way. There's another way, man. And so I just wanted to say that. I wanted to express that. I wish people would put their numbers in the chat so I can get their numbers, and I would definitely put it to use. I appreciate this time. Thank you.
Oh, Ruben, those words touch my heart. Welcome. You're gonna do great. And I know Bushwick well, and all the gangs out there, bro. Trust me. I still do. But welcome. You do have a lot to offer, and I know everybody here feels the same way. You really touched me with those words.
Thank you. Aaron?
Can everyone hear me?
Yes, welcome.
Welcome, thank you. I'm Aaron Thomas, Program Manager at King of Kings. You know, just my short time of actually being on the payroll of being a credible messenger for the last 2.5 years, 3 years, what I notice is we have a lot of credible messengers that are not, that I don't want anyone to take this the wrong way. And when I say suitable, have never worked before. So I think as we try to become more creative, we actually need to do like better training. And when I say better training, you know, like the police, they have 6 months before they go in. Correctional officers have 60 days. You know, our guys, not any fault of theirs, they just never had a job before. So they don't know how to call out. They don't know how to not be late. They don't know how to do certain things. You understand what I'm saying? And then a lot of people we even appoint, you know, to be supervisors. They don't know how to give an order. They themselves sometimes lack character. You find out who a person is when you give them some power. So sometimes absolute power corrupts. You understand what I'm saying? So I think there needs to be some more creativeness going on. As you see the gun violence erupting crazily around even Chicago where the model started, we have to become even more creative. I said that to myself the other day. I said, as things are happening, we have to become more creative on how we reach the people. And that's about it. You know, like I said, you know, we do divert, but we need like a 2-week etiquette class for some of our employees. You understand what I'm saying? That's just real talk, because if they don't make it with us, they need to be equipped for the real world. You understand what I'm saying? So they don't go back, because we all one step away from, you know, being out. Fortunately for myself, when I did my 4 years, it was 30 years ago. So I had 22 years of working in corporate, of doing, you understand what I'm saying? I'm learning how to talk, how to walk, how to do this, how to do that. That a lot of my counterparts just don't have.
Yes, I'm going to say this, Tiffany. I want to say this to my brother Aaron really quick, and I salute him and I concur with him. They just don't have yet, okay? And that's our job. Again, that's our job as a community to come up with those other additional trainings, that opportunities that they need. And our breakout group, we talked about some of those opportunities. There's this national certification that they can receive. And I want to definitely, I'm going to be talking to you and others about that.
Yes.
That, you know, that's going to be important to help add to them. you know, the job readiness courses, things like that, that people that before they actually are hired and put out there in the field, they know that there is a way into which, like you said, not just being credible, but being suitable. So I appreciate you for saying that as well.
So I'm gonna jump into, because there's another piece that
Abdul, let me just speak really quickly. I want to say thank you. I'm just going to piggyback off of AT. So that's some of what the Credible Messenger Justice Center does. We have different trainings, and the trainings range from, it could be anything from CPR, first aid. We want them to have all of that, positive youth development, trauma-informed care, interviewing. If you look on our website, I've put together over 44 trainings during the 3 years I've been with the department. And they range from all of those, even having the commissioners come out from ACS and child support to speak to folks that have had arrears while they were incarcerated and tell them how to get it reduced. So we do a lot at the center. I just put my information up. I don't think we formally met. I might have seen your name fly around, but because I just recently contacted someone someone contacted me from the mayor's office and gave me all of the cure violence teams that exist in New York. I'm the person that was sending like the CMJ assist cards. You might not know about that, the employee assistance program that we have. It's a lot.
Loved it.
Yes, it's a lot that we do. So just look into the website and also keep in contact with me. It is always something going on, always something different and innovative. That's me. I try to keep things fresh and new and
Tiffany,
bring everyone together.
Tiffany, not to cut you off, what was that school that was in the Bronx that a lot of that work too in trainings? Because I did a lot of trainings with them too, but it's a lot of stuff that's available that you have to do on your own.
CCFY.
CCF.
Community Connection for You. You talk about.
Yes.
Nah, that don't sound right. That's not it. I'm gonna get the name, but there was a school that dealt with straight credible messages in the Bronx. I used to have to go to that school in the Bronx. It was like in 2015, but I'm gonna get it. But they gave a lot of certifications and things just for credible messages. We're all touching all those subjects, and I used to give it to my counterparts, but they never went. Right. I took it upon myself and went. But those trainers were always available.
So
yes, and the good thing about CMJC is, again, we're the umbrella, right? All of the organizations fall under us. The best thing about us is everything that we do is free. Everything we do is free.
Yeah, theirs was free too.
Let me interject. So I'm gonna say again, I saw in the chat that they put up postos. No, it is Community Connections for Youth. That's the Bronx TA. They did all of those trainings that you're talking about. Up on 149th Street off of 3rd Avenue. That's who you're talking about. Also, I'm gonna piggyback veggie back off of Tiffany. The CMJC is SLU, the School for Labor and Urban Studies. I'm an alumni from there. So the trainings, the opportunities to not only become certified in some of the work, but also gain the academic credentials to support you as you professionally become a professional. Like I said earlier, the Credible Messenger movement is becoming professionalized and credentialed. And it's our responsibility to kind of really work towards developing us so that when we walk into spaces, one thing I wanted to say, we don't just mentor down, we mentor up. So our experiences are valuable to system stakeholders who want to see change in our communities. So we bring not only the experience, but when we go and get the technical support and the academic development to kind of help create policy, right? That's the piece. We want to be a part of the conversation to develop policy. Oh, I know who this. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. I see what you was offering, Tiff. So we also just wanted to say that there is a developing the Credible Messenger part of a piece that Tiffany and I are working on through this. Well, hopefully we'll be able to release that training soon, and it will really discuss the the responsibilities of credible messengers in the system. So what is our responsibility to systems when we go into the system and doing this work? And what is the system's responsibility to us as we're in this work, and how do we mesh the relationship to develop the competency, but also be most effective in taking information from the system back to the community and not using it as and removing that adversarial overtone as we try to marriage the responsibilities of the system to the community. So there's other trainings that come down the pipe that Tiffany and I are working on. I just had to plug that, and definitely the CMJC, the Credible Messenger Justice Center. I would say look into that, because that's free opportunity and also opportunity to get your academic credentials together as well.
And I would like to just on top of that add with Brother Abdul and Sister Tiffany, and I also want to put this in the individual credible messenger's head. Everything may not be free, okay? And some things you're going to have to maybe want to make a personal investment in, and or ask your organization to invest in it. I like to see agencies that are willing to put their money where their mouth is behind our people that's out there in the streets. Okay, because they're quick to try to say, go find something that's free. No, we need to pay for knowledge. Knowledge is not always free. Okay, right. And there's certain places like the National Gang Certification courses that my brother Christian and them is hosting. It's not free, but it is something that you will have armed and wrapped around you for the rest of your career in this work. So I don't want us to always, because that's part of that sickness too, think that everything that we should be receiving is free. That's not real. That's not the real world. Some things, like, as you know, and we all know, we had to put our money behind it. We had to invest in school. We had to invest in our degrees. We had to invest in education. The best education, you may have to save your money, put the beer and liquor and other things, money aside. Maybe you're not going to get the latest Jordans, but if you put it into something that's going to go into you for your lifetime, you can share that with everybody around you. So I just wanted to put that out as well. But
let me piggyback on you too.
Sorry, Sebastian had his hand up, but okay. Thank you, AT, for that. But I just definitely wanted to put it out there, because whether it's free or not, people need to know it exists and take advantage of it. That's the only way that you're going to enhance your professional development and personal development.
Hi, Tiff. Thank you, everybody, for having this organization program put together this meeting. Hi, Tiff. Hi, everybody. I had just two things I wanted to address. One, I think we're doing a fantastic job serving the community and being able to be there for our young people. I did 18 years in federal prison. I've been home for 3 years now. I'm the CEO of Stop New York. And a lot of the difficulties that I've been running into is that a lot of the programs that's preparing our youth with certifications is not enough, because a lot of them came in contact with the criminal justice system. How do we patch up that loophole when they want to go for employment? Because it appears that just giving the program and teaching them how to tie a tie and prepare for an interview is not enough when they're going to be discriminated against when they go for employment. How do we stop that? So what I've done is contracted with 2 construction companies, help them get their OSHA 30, then I hire them. The second thing I want to address is that as organizations and nonprofits, the problem that I face since I've been home, connecting with other organizations, they either want to rob you from your material or don't give you an opportunity to be a part of this movement. How do you stop this? Can anybody answer that question?
Yeah, anyone.
Unfortunately, I'ma say you just gotta know the right people. That's it. Like, you be on the Zoom is the first step. Getting everybody's information and knowing, you could fill out the people that really want to help or really want to bullshit you. You could fill it out. I've been in this work since a long time, and I've seen the evolution, and I'm telling you right now, it be our own people that don't want us to elevate.
And that's really sad. That's my point.
What I'm telling you is the start is being on this call and networking with real people. There's a lot of real people on this call, resources. So you just talk to them and they'll guide you through. But I'm pretty sure, if you're doing the work and it's seen by, not only by us, but Congress people, Assembly people, your precincts, the mayor, you know, people that's in the area that you want to work in, they see that you do the work, they can also vouch for you. So you could do that too.
Yeah.
That can break a barrier too.
Let me say some. Let me say
Now,
something also. I mean, that's a great question, right? I mean, I'm probably a good example of answering that question because I'm also formerly incarcerated. You know, I did 15 years in maximum security prison. I was sentenced to 37 years. I caught a reversal on my conviction while under investigation for a bunch of other cases. I came home. I turned my life around. And my thing was always networking. I was a hustler in the street, right? And I was out there and I sold product and the product is me now. And so I went and got all certifications I can get, found my niche. I taught myself public speaking. I traveled over the US. And, you know, today, because of the networking piece, I work for the city of New York in juvenile justice. I'm the chief of the National Center for Gang Training. I collaborate with high-level gang experts throughout the United States and other countries. I pushed and fought for a certification curriculum and course for non-law enforcement. I was certified. I'm the only one in history that has been certified by law enforcement as a gang specialist. I've sat in debriefings by the FBI, privy to information that I'm not supposed to be privy to. But because of the consistency in the change in my life and the work that I've done, and I was investigated even as a result to make sure that I was who I was saying I was and that I was consistent. Because I was going to get information that I'm not supposed to have, that if it winds up in the wrong hands, could be a problem. And because of that, I walk around with a federal badge. I have a lot of influence. I travel all over the place and I've advocated, and, you know, AT has been very essential in working with me and making this happen where now credible messengers can get nationally certified. There's trainings all over the place. I mean, some of my students, like Ronald Robertson, he did a training for the probation and other people at the Credible Messenger Justice Center. So, you know, I'm very familiar with them. When other supervisors were there, I mean, I have a history with them as well. But this is the first time in history that a credible messenger can get certified as a national gang specialist. So that means anywhere in the United States, you have credentials that will validate the work that you do. It will train you. It will give you the knowledge to be effective as what you do as a credible messenger. Not only that, but it will open doors of opportunity in your career.
Right.
So
can I jump in there for a second?
Jump in real quick. Sebastian, this Carlos Gonzalez, program coordinator, health people arches in the South Bronx.
Carlos.
Welcome, man. Welcome, my brother. Very proud of you. You know, 3 years. I've been home now about 26 years. Listen, Shaniqua said it there. Network. And right now you're just starting. Listen, get to know. Listen, I know mayors, I know councilmen, right? And when they believe, right? And when they believe in what you're doing, Sebastian, you got to stick to your guns, man. Because like 9 doors might close and say no, and that one door open. You know what I mean? So, you know, stick to your guns. Continue doing what you're doing. Network, get to know the local politicians, you know, the community affairs police guys, you know, all them people, because you just never know who's going to help you open that door. I just wanted to share that.
Amen.
Carlos, I want to piggyback on Carlos,
that, man.
and I'm speaking to Sebastian.
Very good wisdom.
Because very good, Carlos. You like stole my whole speech just now, but that's cool. But I spent 34 years in prison. I've been home 9 years, and I just want to encourage you, Sebastian. Welcome to this group, bro. When I was inside, I created a mindset about a us and them. You feel me? And I hold those things still to my heart. There's a us and them. However, when like Carlos was saying, we have to think outside the box, man. If we want to get some effectiveness, we have to learn how to play the big game, not the one that our heart is at, but where our mind is at too. Those same people he's talking about, law enforcement. Man, I ain't never thought I'd be in no place where I'd be talking no freaking police, right? However, if I'm going to get my job done, I need them to know that I'm out there doing that. They don't.
Amen.
They got to know who the fuck I am on them streets. Otherwise, I'm fighting the same fight I was fighting before I went to prison. All right. So I encourage you, brother, to create that network, man, and with folks that's outside of your comfort zone sometimes, because those are the ones that can press the buttons to get things done. You can ask AT, you can ask Abdul. I knew Abdul how many years? I don't know how many years. And now look, he working for the same people that I thought was my enemies. You know what I'm saying? But that's not the reality. Everybody that's in that side ain't against what we're doing. We just haven't educated them on how we need to do things. And that's, when we get that networking up on our belt, that's what the things we'll cultivate, how to cultivate those relationships, how to make that work for the same population that we're serving, and how to make that thing work. Because change doesn't come because we want it. Change comes because it's inevitable. And we just want to make sure that we control the direction in which change goes. Because change is going to happen for every one of these kids.
Yeah.
Which I want to go back to something AT said earlier in our room, about returning to normal. Somebody helping these kids return to normal. The problem is most of them went in and didn't know what normal was. All right, they were living under some false assumption that this is how life's supposed to go. So it's not about returning to normal, it's teaching them what normal looks like. Community, speaking to people, respect, all of those type of things.
I applaud you, and I applaud the responses, but it still doesn't go to the point of my question. And the point of my question is that it's not the political people and the congressmen and the police, law enforcement. It's the same Black people that's running programs in our communities. That's not providing opportunities for each other. And this is my point. If we're preaching to be a part of helping solve a problem and not be a part of the solution, why are we robbing from each other? Why are we not providing opportunity? Would you give me a contract to work on your organization? No. And this is what I'm talking about. I'm not begging or asking you for anything, but the same Black organizations in New York City is the same Black organizations that's robbing and keeping each other's down. And that's what I have a problem with. So we're not really for the people if you're just thinking about the check. It's hypocritical.
Okay, so I'm gonna jump in.
I got lawsuits against Black nationalists right now because they tried to rob my material.
So Sebastian, this is what I would suggest. Tiffany, I guess we need to have a sidebar conversation. We have about 10 minutes left.
Yes.
And we want to make sure that that everybody gets an opportunity. That I think is a conversation that Tiffany, myself, and AT could probably have with you to kind of help you figure some things out and help maybe guide you in the directions that you want to go in and help you with that deal with that frustration. But I'm just gonna say this real quick, and I'm gonna throw it back on the floor that some people could continue to because I would think we should take these last few minutes and kind of do a quick check out to let's make sure everybody can say one last word just on what they got from the experience today, and we can prepare and give some information for the next event. So yeah, so brother, I put my information in the chat. If you could scroll the chat to take my number, give me a call, and AT and myself and Tiffany will figure out a time where we could kind of maybe sit down with you individually and we could talk about what your concerns are. With that, I want to open it up the floor for everyone just to kind of do a quick checkout. We only got about 8 or 9 minutes left, so we want to be respectful of everybody's time. So if we could keep it really brief, popcorn style. There's a lot of folks in the room. It's open.
I just want to say thank you for the Zoom. It's much appreciated. Like I said, I've been in this work for a minute, and it's always great to see the evolution. So all I just want us to do is just keep putting the unity back in the community, and we could do this together. And that's just it. I'm appreciative to be in the room with all you people, with everybody in here, and I hope that we don't just keep it to this core. We'll all network with each other and figure some things out in each one of our communities. Because I'm in Bed-Stuy, but I'm in Eden Wall houses in the Bronx also. So I'm just like I'm here. Whatever resources we can, hook up with each other, I'm very open to that. Thank you very much for the opportunity.
Yeah, I just want to say,
everybody. Thank you for the space.
Shaniqua, you in the valley. Peace and blessings. I just want to say this was awesome. Abdul, I see you in the neon this week. And peace and blessings to everyone. Let's continue. Thank you.
So thank you everyone for attending. We only got a few minutes left. Like I said, I initiated this starting this year. So we had our first one. This is our second one. Obviously it's successful and I want it to grow. So in my transition, because I'll be transitioning out of my role at New York City Department of Probation in the next month or so, becoming the consultant to the Department of Probation for the Credible Messenger Justice Center.
That's right. Now we talk.
So we will have more of these, and I try to bring everybody together. That's my goal, bringing everybody together and just growing the movement, and not just doing it. We want to put out quality work. We want to make sure that we're making an impact, and we're making an impact. We are, but we're doing it, and it doesn't look like it, but we are. There's so many different issues and things we have to tackle, but we're doing it. So let's continue to do it. I just want to put it out there that we're having a conference on October 20th. If you want to take down the website, we're having a conference and all are welcome. So I'll just share my screen really quickly and you could continue to say your last goodbyes. Well, for now.
Kenya?
So I just want to say on behalf of Kenya King Foundation that we are here. We are available to assist anyone in any way. Doesn't matter where your site is. If there's anything that you need from us, I know I put my number in the chat. I'll put my email there as well. Please feel free to contact us. Like everyone is saying, like we absolutely have to be a community, a village. We all have to support and be there for each other. That's the only way that this work is truly effective, is if we're all in it together. We're all fighting the same fight, no matter where it is that we're fighting it. So again, Kenya King Foundation, whatever we can do on this side to assist you, we're here.
Peace and blessings. This is Rachel from True to Life. Unfortunately, I missed majority of the Zoom. So if you can, AT Mitchell, email me I know that's being recorded so that I can go over it and just see what the webinar was about.
I hear you, Rachel. I got you.
So I'm just gonna put it out there as well. Thank you. Sorry, Rachel, I was hosting, so I couldn't get to you fast enough. But don't worry, it'll be up on the Credible Messenger Justice Center site. Any webinar or conference that we ever have, it goes straight on our site.
Got you. Thank you.
I want to thank Tiffany and AT for a job well done. The work that you guys are doing and equipping your, the credible messengers and the violence interrupters. And again, anything I can do, I'm in contact. We'll be in contact too, Tiffany and AT. Him and I are in the middle of this collaboration. And any questions and you need my contact information, it should be in the chat. If not, reach out to AT. Feel free to give me a call, and we're here. We're here to help you in any way we can as well.
Good to see some of the old faces and definitely the new faces. And I wish everybody peace, and I wish us success in this struggle that we're in. And we all going to touch base again. AT, we got to get together again. We got to restart that little program we started and get back on it. But good to see everybody, y'all.
Good to see you too. I'm going to take down this slide if everybody has the information. There you go.
God bless everybody. Continue the good work. Better life for everybody.
Likewise, brother. See ya.
Yo, so I haven't been on camera because I've been prepping for a program, y'all. I've been listening to the conversation, and as always, Tiffany, every time I come through, I always get a word of knowledge. I always get somebody that want to keep my eye on and be like, yo, I got to hook up with you. And that always happened again. I'm going to put my information. My name is Hassan. I work with Echo's program in Harlem through Children's Village. I'm always down to help. I'm always down to build, grow, ask Abdul, that was one of the first people that I met at one of my other things. You know what I mean? So networking is for real, y'all. And it really does work. And we can help each other build and grow together. And so anything that I can do, Abdul, you know my number, I'm gonna be reaching out to you, you know what I mean?
Gotcha.
So there it is, brother.
No, so listen, everybody, again, remember, it's not taking nothing away from the amount of years that you've been inside. It's about the amount of years that you remain outside. Do you know what I mean? And this is what it's about. You know, being able to celebrate each other's accomplishments while on the outside. You know, we need each other. We need to set up therapeutic environments for support groups for each other so that we can, sometimes I need it as well. And it might be on a cold glass of Remy Martin. You never know. But the reality of it is, you know, we want to make sure that we stay home. It's not about just coming home and doing nothing. It's about being out here and being active. And so I applaud everybody, you know, just for the time that y'all spent. This is time well spent. And again, I'm looking forward to staying in touch with each and every last one of you. And if anything that we could do, as Brother Abdul and Tiffany said, within our powers, we will do that. All right. But let's be open-minded. Let's be real about it. And let's make sure that we just come to a positive solution, because this is our movement. And we don't want any one of us to mess it up for all of us.
Right.
Okay. I want to say that again. We don't want any one of us to mess it up for all of us. All right.
Amen.
Because there is an opposition out there that is looking at us. They're not happy. We're stopping the influx into the prisons. We're stopping, you know, we're keeping the arrest rates down. We're stopping people from dying because, yes, you know, people are still getting shot and killed. But at the same time, if we wasn't out there doing the marvelous work that we was doing, it would be 3 times the murder rate right now.
So I'm gonna jump in real quick
So
to just
keep
make
it up,
sure
everybody. Yes, go ahead, bro.
I'm sorry. Want to make sure that I say this because we got 1 minute left. That credible messenger, remember this, the credible messenger movement is bigger than just the criminal justice system.
That's
that
right.
we are now, because we're addressing violence, and violence is in everything we do. Every system we are dealing with has a overtone of violence. It is our responsibility to expand our thought processes and really be engaged in other things that is even uncommon for ourselves. So as we continue to professionalize ourselves in our particular, you know, silos and in our particular lane of work, we have to be visionaries and think outside of our own boxes, our own comfortability, and train and understand other avenues that lead to the prison system, other avenues that lead our young people to the gun. And we need to be really conscious about making sure that where we fall short or where we stop, that our network is strong enough for us to take and send our young folks and our people to the next space to be serviced, so that they can also address systemically, mentally, the internal piece of violence. Thank you.
Thank you. There's a survey at the end. I want to see what you guys thought of this, the event, the whole session, and please fill it out. Please fill it out. If you want to join me October 15th, talking about resources, Emergent Works with Army. There's a gentleman who started, well, he's co-founder of an organization that teaches technology, web development, design, which is also free again, and they pay you to learn. It's once a week for 16 weeks. I'll be having that on October 15th. So if you want information, please email it to me. It is for people who are justice involved, justice impacted, or returning citizens. Why not?
Tiffany, you did your thing. Girl, I am so proud of you and thankful for you, man.
Thank you.
This was amazing. It was just awesome, everybody. Thank you, Tiffany, for all your back office and, you know, all of your hard work. I appreciate you.
Thank you. That means a lot. Thank you so much. I see you, buddy, Starsky. Well, guys, this is it. It's 2:32. It looked like nobody want to leave. Go eat lunch. Go save the world. Like, yes.
Thank you all.
Please complete the survey.
Peace, everybody.
Peace, everybody.
Waiting for the survey.
Or we're gonna check back in someplace.
Okay.
Yes. When you're logging off, the survey will pop up.
Okay, thank you.
Absolutely.
Safe out there, everybody.
Thank you.
Yes,
You
indeed.
gotta send me another link so I could come back and join y'all real quick.
No, don't leave. Once everybody signs off, we'll still be here.
All right.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Peace,
You see, now I don't want to leave. You guys are gonna stay. I don't want to leave.
Have a great afternoon, everybody.
Peace, Kenya.
Peace.
This guy kept getting kicked out.
They want to stop recording now, Tiff.
Yep, there you go. Thank you for reminding me.
I got you.